Hey guys, Steve here. Today I got to look at the new Tier 4 Soviet destroyer Okhotnik. Gurn on the screen here. I got Mad and Burke. Emphasis on the guns. That's how I think you should be playing these. I'll design a build more when we get the full line of Soviet destroyers whenever they come out. Saw some questions online today. Do you get a duplicate Gurn with this? No. If you already have him from the Gremyashi, you'll just get the ship. If you don't have the Gremyashi and you don't have Gurn, then he'll be coming with the ship. So he seems like a pretty good commander for the way I try and play these ships. Kind of like a cruiser with no citadel. You can see right off the bat on the screen there, the thing's about the size of an Iowa. Turning circle's really not that great. 730 on this. Compare that to a 710 on the Alabama, which is, the best turning circle that we currently have at Tier 7 battleships. So you're not going to be trying to get close in here, dual destroyers. Speed's kind of on the slowish side of things. I got 35.9 on my build. Compare that to like a 39 on the Mutsuki, for instance. And rudder, 3.7. That's the biggest at the tier. Again, these are all taking into account the build that I showed early on. Concealment, 6.1, 3.2. Same as the Gremyashi. You'll note I'm not speccing these out for concealment. I'm trying to play them kind of mid-range, focus on the guns, utilize islands if possible. You'll see once we get the guns firing really nice flat arcs, which kind of makes it harder to use islands as cover. But in terms of getting the shells on target, they're really pretty spicy guns. What's going on with the guns? Yeah, we got 7 guns on this thing. I think they just try to pack as much ordnance on this thing. You got 7 guns, 130 millimeters on those, biggest at the tier for destroyers, tied with the Gremmy. And then you got your 12 torpedoes, 4.3 or 4x3. They're only 450 millimeters, I believe, whatever that metric is. So they're the smallest torps at the tier, 13,667 damage. So not individually, they're not menacing torps, but if you get 12 of them on your target, they're going to have a bit of an issue dealing with that. Right off the bat, we got an Emily pushing in on the enemy team. Hit them there with the HE rounds. I haven't tested the AP against these French cruisers yet. Maybe they would work, maybe not, but these HE shells are effective against that ship. Usually, though, most cruisers are for sure going to want to be utilizing the AP, especially if you have your Gurn build. We'll see what the other commander choice is down the line, but he's kind of set up to maximize the use of the AP, which is a good way to run these two ships, at least, based on the Gremmy and the Okhotnik here. That seems to be kind of the Soviet destroyer playstyle. So, torps destroyer, right? What's the deal with the torps? 4.5 kilometers on the range, 62 knots in the water, so they're not bad in that regard. They're not great. I guess they're faster than the Gremyashi, but other than that, they're kind of on the low, or faster than the Farragut as well. But they're not as fast as like Japanese torps. So the reaction time, you get 6.2 seconds. That's basically how long they're on the screen before they hit the target. But that's not really, you're not going to be stealth torping someone. So even though they have really good kind of concealment or the detectability of the torps compared to their speed, it's not really going to be coming into play. Because basically you're going to have to be pretty damn close to these things. You can utilize islands to, ambush ships. That's kind of how you want to textbook play these torps. But you'll see here a couple times in this game we're going to basically suicide run a couple battleships. And of course this is a tier 4 ship, so you're going to have a lot of people that aren't paying attention to their surroundings. So anyway, we're pounding the Koenig here with HE. And these shells, there's a 8% fire chance. That's the highest at the tier except for the Gremmy, which is a 9%. So pretty decent. And you got all these guns firing. It's a slow reload, 10.3. But, due to the rate of fire and the output, you can get a lot of fires going with this thing. Here, this core bay's kind of zooming in towards us. So rather than let him get too close and make it harder to deal with, we're just going to bum rush him. You can get away with this play when you have full health like we do here. You got to figure a battleship per shell, assuming they have AP load, they're going to do about 1,000 damage. So even if this guy hits me with a wicked salvo, he's going to have a really hard time killing me. And he's in a bit of a pickle here. Unbeknownst to him, he's completely focused on God knows what. Even though his secondaries are going off, and you know, you can use those secondaries as a early warning system telling you there's a destroyer approaching. But he's not going to get away with that one there. And he gone right off the bat. So I've had, you know, we've played about 10 games or so on this one. This is an early impressions video, which is what I usually like to do with these new premiums that Wargaming provides me due to the community contributor program. You know, 40k, 30k damage just relying on the guns, 50k, whatever it is. Those are decent games on the ship. There's not a lot of HP usually at this tier. But if you can get these torps involved, like we do in this game, that's how you're going to get these, you know, massive damage games that are kind of ridiculous. Seal Clubbing Extraordinaire ship, yeah, you know, you're probably going to see some bandit pirates out on the high seas running this thing. It's a fun ship. I like playing it. You know, it's pretty dangerous if played properly. But again, it's these Soviet destroyers, at least out of the two that we've had so far, they're not your prototypical destroyer experience where you're trying to rely on your stealth, you're trying to do a lot of torping. You know, in this game we get a lot of torps in the water and they're fairly effective, but it's kind of due to the situation and frankly the lack of situational awareness. On the other side, was that a Hegon moment? Yes, it was. The second Hegon of the game, and that'll put us just shy of 100k, so you know, these guys are taking a bit of a pounding on the enemy team. So, I mean, again, these torp maneuvers, I don't think you'd want to necessarily be that aggressive when you're spotted on a higher tier match with a lot of experienced players, but not an issue in these low tier games. Now we got a couple Koenigs left and a Yubari that's behind the island. I'm mainly focused on getting rid of the Yubari. We'll see if we can get some AP going on that so we can demonstrate that aspect of the guns. But he's, you know, kind of angled away currently, at least last known position, so we do have to be a little bit careful coming around. Torp reload I forgot to mention, 45 seconds I believe. 47 seconds. So I mean that's just a few seconds behind the Kamikaze. I got mine at 42.3. So, you know, a lot of fish swimming around out there and a lot of offensive potential on this thing. I should mention, I think I forgot to mention earlier, the turret traverse Gremiashi-esque, a little bit better, 31.7 on mine compared to 34.9 on the Gremmy. But again, that really slow turret traverse, and that's the main reason I got mad on this build. That's going to prevent you and kind of cause a lot of problems when you're getting in close with other ships, especially destroyers. Like if you got a Farragut or Mahan or, you know, Icarus, Acosta, you know, any of these ships that deal well with enemy destroyers, you're going to have a bit of an issue there. AP loaded on Yubari. Let's see if it works. Yep, it does work. 3 Citadels there. Ripped him for about half his HP on that one. So again, you know, despite there being a couple drawbacks, mainly the torp range to detectability range and the slow turret traverse and the size of the ship, which makes it relatively easy to hit. You know, it's a fun ship to play. Offensive output potential is there. And it's a ship you gotta respect. You know, I don't play a whole lot of tier 4, but I'll definitely be running this one on a lot of my Sunday promotion order missions here going forward. So we'll see what the other commander is for the Soviet destroyers when we get the whole line. I think Gurin looks like a pretty solid choice. On slot 4, he does have the incoming dispersion perk, and he can definitely slot Vine on top of that and kind of stack that up and make the ship really hard to hit. Again, if you're playing it kind of mid to long range, that'll just work in your favor even more. But right now I got it spec'd out to, you know, maximize the offensive capabilities of the ship. A lot of fun though. Definitely pick it up if you're looking for kind of something unique and a good ship at tier 4. So what do we wind up with here? Just shy, I don't know, 128k, so pretty high damage game there. That's going to do it for that one though, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, you should consider subscribing. There's a lot of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. I do love to hear from you guys. And we'll see y'all later. Alright, peace.